What is happening, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Manny's Food Channel. And today I decided to change things up and do a dessert. So today we will be doing a lemongrass infused creme brulee. There is a maximum of around 6 ingredients in here and it is absolutely delicious. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to infuse the cream. So I'm going to use around 1 liter of cream. Then I'm going to heat up. Make sure you do not boil the cream, otherwise it's going to split the fat and you can't use the cream anymore. So all you're trying to do is bring it to a light simmer and infuse some of that lemongrass flavor in there. And what I have here is 1 lemongrass. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break it and throw it in there and let it steep for around 15 to 20 minutes until the flavor is extracted and it's nicely flavored, the cream. And then from there we'll start to whisk it into our egg yolks and sugar mixture. So while we're waiting for our cream to come to a light simmer, we're going to separate 6 egg yolks from the shell and place it in a large bowl, followed by half a cup of granulated sugar. Now the sugar that I used, I infused it with lemongrass. It's very easy to do. You can just grab a lemongrass, break it, and put it into the amount of sugar that you want to infuse and let it sit overnight. That way the lemongrass flavor infuses very nicely into the sugar. So you can do that, or you can use regular sugar as well. And we're going to whisk it until it turns into a very light creamy texture. And once the cream is ready to be added, then we'll add it into the egg yolk mixture. Now that I have extracted the egg yolk mixture, I can start to mix the sugar in. So I'm just going to create a base here so that way my bowl doesn't move too much. And then I'll throw in the sugar. And then we'll just start whisking them together. As you can see, the color is starting to change. It started to turn to a lighter, whiter color. Now we can start to add the infused cream into it. And we're not going to add all of it at once. We're going to be tempering it. And pretty much what tempering is you add it in small batches, the hot cream to the cold yolks, to bring the temperature of the yolks up so that way you don't curdle or cook the egg yolks, because ultimately we're going to cook it in the oven. So we don't want scrambled eggs in our creme brulee. So we're going to add them in small batches, little by little, until we slowly bring the temperature of this egg yolk mixture up. And then we'll put it in the oven to cook. So now that my egg yolk mixture is ready, you can tell because it's got a very light velvety texture. It's a lighter shade of yellow and it's very smooth. So all I did here is I removed the lemongrass and I put the cream in a smaller pot just so it's easier to manage. Now this is the most important step about making a creme brulee. You want to make sure that you do not curdle the egg yolks as you're pouring the cream in. So you put it a little bit at a time, which we call tempering, and we'll begin to slowly whisk in the cream. If you curdle the eggs, then it's going to turn into scrambled eggs and it's not going to have the same texture and flavor as a creme brulee should. So we'll do it little by little in small batches, making sure that we do not scramble the eggs. And then now we can add the rest of the cream because we brought the eggs up to temperature and it's not going to cook the egg yolks or scramble the egg yolks. So now what I've done here is I've set up my ramekins in a small little pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly and little by little evenly distribute the creme brulee mixture into each ramekin. Don't overfill it too much. That way it doesn't overflow from the ramekin. And we'll evenly distribute all of the cream and egg yolk mix. So sometimes when you pour the mixture into each ramekin, you'll see that it foamed up at the top a little bit, or it bubbled up a little bit. Just like this here. With this one here, it bubbled up a lot. One way of removing that foam is just using a blowtorch and just quickly blowtorch each one just to remove that any excess bubble, because you want a clear lining at the very top when we put the sugar and caramelize it later. You don't want to do it for too long, otherwise you start to cook the cream. So we'll do this quickly just to remove all the bubbles. Now we're going to pour hot water, just enough till it goes to around half of the ramekin height. And then we're going to put this in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for around 45 to 50 minutes, or until the creme brulee is cooked. Now we'll just let it do its thing and cook. So now that the creme brulee is ready, I took it out of the pan and I'm gonna put them on another sheet tray and leave it in the fridge for about half an hour or until it cools down before we add the sugar and torch the top. Alright, now that the creme brulee has cooled down, I'm gonna start putting my lemongrass infused sugar on the top. And make sure you don't put too thick of a layer of sugar, otherwise it's not going to caramelize properly. And also make sure you spread it edge to edge, ensuring that all corners of the creme brulee has some sugar on there. And now we'll slowly take the torch and turn the creme brulee little by little until we caramelize all the sugar. Don't stay in one spot, otherwise it will color too much on one side and not on the rest. And finally, I'm going to garnish with some of my favorite fruit. So I'm going to add some kiwi and some strawberry to it, just to give it a little bit of freshness. And there we have it, folks. The lemongrass infused creme brulee. Let's have a taste and see how it is. But just to prove that I'm not making this up, a moment of silence for that top crunch of the creme brulee. Let's see. That is so delicious. Try it out. Let me know how it is. Definitely worth having a go on this. Hi everyone, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, or subscribe to my channel. And give me some feedback as to how I can make these videos better and or what kind of recipes you would like to see. And I'll try to make that happen. Till next time.